Good morning. As if I know what I'm doing, I'm going to make pasta today. I've pulled up a recipe from Fine Cooking that says it yields about a pound of pasta, enough for a 9 by 13 inch lasagna. I have the presses that go with my KitchenAid mixer. I don't know if they're called presses. I guess it would be a pasta roller. It says if you've never made lasagna with fresh pasta, you are in for a treat. The thinness of the pasta lets the flavors of the sauce and cheese marry to create a lasagna that's light and truly special. It cannot be duplicated with thicker store-bought noodles. And I'm really excited because Bill was looking at this and he saw that we can change. It's just a little, there's like a little detent and then a little twisty bit, and you can change the thickness of the pasta here, and I'll have to see which one's about right. It goes anywhere from 1 to 7 on the roller. I'll leave a link to this below because this is just brilliant. This set also came with the roller to make the thinner, let's see, I don't know if you can see, the roller to make the thinner pasta, and then the roller to make the ultra thin, like the spaghetti or things like that. It says do not attachment immerse in water or other liquid. I think there are parts of it that are oiled, so you wouldn't want to fully immerse it, and it came with a little spatula and some instructions. Okay, it says what I need is 11 1/4 ounce or 2½ cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. More is needed. 4 large eggs at room temperature and kosher salt. That is pretty easy, and I'm glad that this is one that uses all-purpose flour because I haven't yet ordered any of the 00 semolina, but I will do that. To make the dough, it says I mound the flour on a clean work surface, make a high-walled 7 to 8 inch diameter. I'm going to do this in the KitchenAid. Crack eggs into the well, beat the eggs gradually, pulling flour from the outer of the well until soft clumpy dough begins to form. When it's difficult to work with a fork, use your hand. Alright, so I'm going to use the KitchenAid to do this instead. So I'm going to look and see. They have how to roll the dough out and how to cut it. I'm just going to use their recipe and then adapt it for use in the KitchenAid. It says I need to cook the pasta, boil over high heat, large bowl of ice water near the pot, line a rimmed baking sheet with 2 clean kitchen towels or sheets of parchment and have more towels or parchment ready. 3 or 4 noodles go into the boiling water. Once the water boils, cook for about 30 seconds. Transfer them to the ice water to stop the cooking and then repeat with the remaining noodles. Alright, this does not sound very difficult. How easy is this going to be? I'm never going to have to buy store-bought pasta again, and it's going to be so much more delicious than store-bought homemade. It does say it's really important to use room temperature eggs. This means I need to go ahead and get the eggs out. They're actually in the fridge because the guy I buy eggs from down the road puts them in the fridge, so I have to put them in the fridge. So I'm going to go ahead and get the eggs out and then get the next step ready. I am going to get to the lasagna, but first I needed to process a calabaza, and I will show you this one. The one that I processed was 1/4 the size of this one, and I ended up with seeds that I can put in the oven, and I ended up with lots of that to roast, and I got out our Dutch oven, and I'm going to actually use the fire for baking the lasagna because why not? I'll show you. We've got lots of embers built up, so it's going to work perfectly.
For 80 years now, I've been slowly building this large shed.
Spook.
The ground floor.
What'd you say?
There will be a room for
I attacked the pantry again today. I couldn't help myself. It just didn't look much like a pantry. And what's happening is, now that we're making our own pasta and we're making a lot of our own bread, I need more different types of flour. So I'm going to get some more of these glass containers like this and possibly put them on this shelf where they're easy to reach and labeled. And that will look good. 2½ cups of flour. 4 eggs. And some kosher salt. Or in this case, salt from Andrews. This might not be as easy as we thought. You have to pass it through the roller 10 to 12 times. 10 to 12 times! Bill is taking care of the ground beef. I have the attachment hooked up to the KitchenAid, and I've got my dough ready. Let's see how this goes. Alright, let's have to go through 10 or 12 times.
I always start it out. You want a bowl or something underneath it?
No, they tell you to start it at the widest,
Yeah.
and you work it down. So I've got, I put it at the widest, and they say 10 or 12 times, and you work it down. And then you have to boil it.
Okay, so you want me to get a big pot out? The water going on?
I'm looking to see if it's boil immediately or you just boil it eventually. Go all the way down till you get to 1/16. When you boil them, then after you boil them for 30 seconds, then you transfer them to ice water to stop the cooking. Interesting, huh?
Okay.
And then you drain them and you rinse them under cold water. So we'll wait.
Boiling on one for, or do you want just a smaller, do we have a smaller pot for?
No, I'm going to use that one for boiling, I think, the one you were going for.
Okay.
And then for the ice bath.
I'll take care of that. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. I'll take care of it. I'll prep all that.
Alright, I guess I'm scared to start this part. I'm nervous. Hey, what if it doesn't work? I think I have to get it a little thinner to start with. This looks nothing like the stuff in the pictures. I mean, nothing. Just to put it through and then you fold it. And you go again.
Delle belle turbando al riposo, ma ci settuato giro d'amor. Delle belle.
You could never have too many cooks in the kitchen. So Bill is going to give it a shot. He's rolling out. Then he's going to put it through 8 times. I'm putting them through 8 times, and then I'm going to start on the 4. I'll start reducing it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I will tell you, when they say to fold it like an envelope with left and right in, it said that on your next pass it doesn't do that, like go crookedy.
So will you?
You fold it about a third in, just about a third, and then you have to bring the other side in a third without a big overlap. So that's the half. You're going to find out it's going to pull kind of crooked. So now I finally figured out why they say to do it in the thirds. Because that way you have absolutely equal pull. See how it pulls funny?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. That's why they said do thirds, I guess. Quick break to show you where we are. Each of these pieces has been put through 8 times on number 7, twice on number 6. Now it's got to go twice on number 5 and twice on number 4, which I'm just going to adjust right here. And then it is ready to go into the pot. Bill's got the pot going. Ready? 30 seconds in the pot, and then it goes into an ice bath.
These are out of there as fast as possible so that they're not soaking. Actually, what I'm going to do is just this. I'm going to dip them. Let you spread them out.
Okay, they're still warm. I think it's okay if they stay in here a little while. It's supposed to really cool them down. It's doing the job. So it's 30 seconds in the boiling, right?
Yeah.
And then ice bath, drip, dry them, drying noodles. They don't stick together in the ice bath, so that's good. They're coming out of it. Yeah, I guess it says it's supposed to completely stop the cooking. Ooh, that's our best one. Oh, that's cold. go. Put this there so I can pat these dry. Pat dry.
Narcisetto d'amor, delle belle turbando il riposo. Narcisetto.
I wonder if you have to cook the ones that are the spaghettis and all the other varieties.
Until the end, I would think.
This time is not an exact science, but we're learning. We'll get it figured out. I'm glad it doesn't stick to the cloth.
Right.
That would make, could you imagine if they wouldn't even peel off of it? Let me go this way to take advantage of the dry edge. Perfect. I wasn't sure whether to bother with the little pieces, but...
When it got down to this, I just tossed them back to this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the smaller stuff, the really small stuff. We have enough to make, but we have enough way more than we need.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll throw it in the freezer and use it some other time. Well, I'll say one thing about this. It makes a lot of mess. Okay, off. All right, I'm going to clean this up and then we can assemble these. Okay, I'm assembling all of the ingredients. I've got my pan, which is oiled very, very lightly. I've got a red spatula. If you don't know why you have a red spatula, whenever you're working with tomato sauce, you're always going to want to use a red spatula so that you don't stain your other spatula. So first it's going to go tomato sauce, then what's the usual order? Tomato sauce, pasta, ground beef, ricotta, tomato sauce, pasta, ground beef, ricotta, whatever order that we pick. We've just realized that the ricotta is at the workshop in the refrigerator there because I've been shopping for 2 months at a time due to COVID and not going in. So we've had some stuff that's in the overflow. I will show you the pasta. Is pasta? Lobster? Pasta? The pasta is right here. Really, really rubbery. So we're going to see what this is going to be like. Okay, I'm chewing on a piece and it feels just like regular pasta does when it is wet, except it feels a little bit more tender. So there's our pasta. It's probably going to be enough for 2 rounds. Got our tomato sauce is ready. This is a Old Mountain, no fancy brand. I just noticed that the handle is thicker there than there. Everything in lasagna is already cooked, so really you're just letting the flavors blend together. And like I said, we've got the fire ready. Bill's got this going. And he's kind of got it moved over to one side so that we can cook on the other side, or we can actually put the pot over the whole thing and cook. I bet you can see this. Well, bet you can't see the other cat. Hello, hello. What you doing? What you doing? All right, here goes. First, our recipe said to put some sauce on the bottom. Got a red spatula so that it doesn't get discolored. This recipe also showed putting spinach in, which I thought was really interesting. Oh, I remember now. Ricotta goes directly on the pasta. It's not going to be easy to spread the ricotta, so I'm going to kind of do it by hand. Because the pasta is not hard like what you usually use.
Mm-hmm.
It's soft,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't just spread the ricotta. Okay, so we've got ricotta, and then next goes, oh gosh, Jasper, you are pushing your luck, buddy. That's the last thing that needs is a cat running through.
Non più frai, quei penachini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante. Non più trai farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano.
I don't know if this is easier or harder than doing it in a 9x13, 9x12. We're about to find out. I don't know if they're any hard and fast with this, other than layers.
Like an onion.
I tasted it. It tastes just like pasta usually does, except soft. Guess it will taste a lot fresher. Definitely cannot spread it, the ricotta, like you do on hard pasta.
Delle belle
You'd be amazed in the videos how much the ice maker, how much you can hear it. But it sure came in handy for the ice bath. This is going to be really interesting.
So how long does this cook for?
I would say about 45 minutes.
All right.
What do you think?
I don't know. What's the recipe call for?
I'll have to look and see. It depends on the heat of your campfire.
Well, I can. I've got a good bed of coals going, but I mean.
That'll be perfect. Only bad thing about this one is it doesn't have the lid that has a ledge where you can pile coals on top. You can bank coals around it, but it's hard to get coals on the top of this one. So if we get serious about doing a lot of this, we're going to have to invest in one that has a ledge on the top.
Use it up. Use it up.
I am. Going to be a pot of yummy goodness. I feel like I should pat it down to get the air bubbles out. Well, everything in here is cooked, so all it has to do is heat it up, right? Here we go. Here we go. It's a strange lid. Look how it's thicker on one side than the other.
Yep.
Now, if we had the right kind of fireplace, it would have a hook that would swing out. Oh, everybody's following you. There'd be a hook that would swing out. Ooh, wow. Oh, it's a ring of fire. This is going to be interesting to see how we get it out, and when we get it out, where we set it.
Well, thankfully I've got this glove.
When we get it out, where are we going to set it?
It's going to be probably going through the sink.
Okay.
Okay, so get the
Ooh, now that sink might be a composite. What about a cutting board? I might have to put it on like a bad looking cutting board. Oh yeah. All right, what time is it? So we're going to give it about 45 minutes, right? Ooh yeah. This is going to be awesome. The temperature on the outside is how much?
260 degrees is what I'm reading on the side there. That could just be the heat coming up around the side too.
Yeah.
On the top is roughly 192.
Okay, good. So even though we can't pile any coals on the top, it's hot all the way around. 45 minutes until delish.
It transfers heat nice.
True. Okay, let's see. Ooh, looks just like lasagna. Now all we have to do is get it out of there. These are the best mitts ever. They have grippy parts on both sides. We also have some, look at that, that's calabaza. And of course we took the seeds, got those out. This is a little bit burnt around the edges, not surprising, but I think we can get it out. Tools ready, I've got a metal spatula and a spoon. I don't think there's any way to get it out without absolutely destroying it. They didn't mention anything about this part of it. Looks like lasagna. Smells like lasagna.
Oh wow, yes.
I think a 4-legged pot would be better than a 3-legged pot. So we also have some more veggies, some calabaza. Calabaza looks pretty good, Bill. This is still cooking and bubbling in here.
Look at that.
Oh, yum. A little bit brown around the edges. I took the brownest part first. Some of the other edges aren't as brown. We'll try some of these seeds too. Oh, those are delicious. Trusty KitchenAid. There's the attachment piece. Oh, I can't wait to try this. It's going to be delicious. Turns out the seeds are absolutely delicious. They're like pumpkin seeds. Oh, they're calabaza seeds. From one of these big calabazas. Wow, wow, wow. Yum. It's going to be delicious. This might be the first time I've ever had homemade pasta. It's definitely the first time I've ever made it.
Not bad, Kim.
Not bad?
Not awful.
Pretty good? Can you
Pretty
actually even tell the difference between store-bought and this?
No,
No, not really.
no, but
I guess we have.
health-wise, we're going to know.
I guess we have to refine our methods, and then we'll be able to tell the difference. Wow, this looks good, and the calabaza looks good too.
But knowing that we're actually making it ourselves and not adding to the
Packaging,
the
packaging alone, pretty good. Tastes smoky.
it tastes smoky. It has a smell to it or a taste to it.
Well, we cooked it over the fire, so that's probably why for that. So we cut wood down, that warms you up. You drag it somewhere, that warms you up. You cut it up some more, that warms you up. Split it, that warms you up. Carry it some more, that warms you up. Put it in the fireplace,
Yeah.
and burn it, and that warms you up. And cook on it too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Calabaza is good. It's a little bit kind of like crystallized.
Caramelized, yeah.
Yeah, caramelized. That's the word. It's a little bit caramelized in places. And the spices from that recipe are very nice. What went on it? It's very nice. The cumin's good. So you want to do the, what do you call those pots?
Cast iron pots?
Yeah, there's a name for it. I guess there's a name for the ones that have the ledge on top. I can't think of the name for the ones with the ledge on top.
I think my children would really enjoy the experience of making their own lasagna. And
Like you said, good thing we started at 4:30 because it's 7:30 and we're eating. This is not an impulse meal. You have to think in advance. And I had to take the eggs out early so that they would come to room temperature. What is the name for the pot? Not a crock pot.
This is pretty darn good, Cam.
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven.
It's called a Dutch oven. That's what it's called. I don't know if that also applies to the ones like this. I think it should have 4 legs and it'd be more stable. This is good. You're right. It has a smoky flavor. Is that because it burnt a little bit? So how long did it actually cook? 45 minutes?
So I pulled it out right at 45
Right
minutes.
at 45, so we probably could have gone with 30. I think the edge would be blackened anyway. I think the edge is just where the
Was it
cheese was touching.
black and more on the side of this laying, where the handle's laying down on that side?
Yes, it was.
That's where that big fire.
So the coals work really well. I know you can even take potatoes and wrap aluminum around them and throw them in there. I like the idea of cooking in there rather than heating up the oven, just because it's already paid for.
I'm gonna get another piece.
Well, then that's a sign that it was a success. All right, I'm gonna eat mine. Thanks for watching. I'll link everything below.